The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Community America Ballpark, live in Kansas City, Kansas, as the Kansas City T-Bones wrap up this 7-game homestand with the fourth and final game of the series against the Laredo Lamers. Kansas City had won the previous 3 games, looking for back-to-back sweeps on this 7-game homestand. We'll see how it factors into today. Mike Kickham gets the start for Kansas City, and this is the lineup he'll be facing in the final game of the homestand. Leading off, the center fielder Brennan Metzger, batting second to third baseman Abba Nieves. J.D. Pulfer will bat third. He's at second base, as the designated hitter Dennis Phipps will bat in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth, the right fielder is Burt Reynolds. Jesus Poso, the first baseman, will bat sixth, with Zane Chavez catching and batting eighth or seventh tonight. Batting eighth at shortstop is Alvaro Rondon. Ty Morrison, the left fielder, will bat ninth. Metzger, Nieves, Pulfer, Phipps, Reynolds, Poso, Chavez, Rondon, Morrison for Laredo this afternoon. We'll get to the defense for Kansas City in just a little bit. Mike Kickham with his second start of the homestand. He's had a phenomenal season with KC, 3-2 record and a 3.15 ERA. The left-hander making once again his second start of the homestand. Kansas City swept Lincoln, 3-game series earlier this week, and then Kansas City so far has taken 3 against Laredo, as the first pitch of the game is a little bit low. Mid-80s here today. First pitch right at 106. Last night, a very lengthy game compared to the game on Friday night that was just over 2 hours in length. There's a fastball strike, and the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball at 89 for Mike Kickham. Brennan Metzger batting 167, no home runs, no RBIs, had a hit in last night's game. Also a couple of walks earlier in the contest. 1-0 pitch missed inside, so 3 consecutive fastballs, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. So Metzger moving from the bottom of the order to the top of the order, whereas Ty Morrison kind of switching spots. Here's a chopper foul to the left side, and the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of fastballs early on for Mike Kickham. 10th start of the year. Last start against Lincoln, he went 8 innings, gave up 7 hits, no runs. Kansas City went on to win that game 8-0. He also has faced Laredo 1 time this year. On July 11th, Kansas City lost the game 2-1. He allowed just 1 run in 7 innings. And one of those types of pitchers that's really given a lot of length for Kansas City, and he hits Metzger to lead off the game. So Metzger down in pain down the first base line. On a 2-2 pitch, it just came barreling in on the right knee of Metzger, who continues to do nothing but get on base. A couple of walks last night, a hit by pitch earlier, or to start the game early today, and he'll be looked at by Kansas City as well as Laredo. San Francisco drafted Kickham in the 6th round back in 2010 at Missouri State University. Once again, a former major leaguer, was with the Giants in 2013 as well as a little bit in 2014. And Metzger's going to gingerly limp down to first base. He'll appear at this point to stay into the game, so Metzger will now try to jog it off a bit. Laredo on the other side will start Zach Dodson in the bottom of the first inning. Just the second start of the year for Dodson. Last start came on August 9th against Texas. He gave up 1 hit in 6 innings. Laredo went on to beat Texas 3-0. Dodson has played professionally since 2009 and overall 34-48 with a 4.30 ERA. So we'll see him in the bottom of the first inning. So a little bit of a delay here early on. The good news is, especially for Laredo fans, is that speedy center fielder Metzger will stay in the game
at first base. Now Kickham will have to work around the leadoff hit by pitch. And up comes the third baseman, Abel Nieves. Nieves did not play last night. Added to the roster not too long ago, and now takes a first pitch strike across the outside corner. So predominantly nothing but fastballs from Kickham, at least the first 6 pitches of the afternoon. Double play depth for Kansas City. Outfield fairly shallow, especially Massey in center field as this pitch misses outside and the count's even, 1 ball and a strike. Kansas City coming into today 21-17 at home, and most of their struggles, as it typically does with the splits, have happened on the road. 1-1 pitch down the right field line, but twisting foul and out of play, and the count is in Kickham's favor now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Away from Community America Ballpark, Kansas City is 15-25, so 10 games below 500 on the road. A lot of room in left center field as the left fielder Gillies a couple of feet toward center field, and Massey is on the right side of the outfield, so a lot of room in left center. Third baseman Mojica guarding the bag at third, and another foul ball out of play to the right side. Defensively for Kansas City, Tyler Moore will do the catching this afternoon. Steve Swingle removed from the game in the last few innings last night, so he is out today. So Tyler Moore will do the catching. Mojica at third, Frias at short, Wiley at second, Blackwood at first. The outfielders have not changed. Gillies, Massey, and Rodriguez. Another foul ball out of play to the right side, and the count will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. J.D. Pulfer on the on-deck circle for Laredo, the second baseman back in the middle part of the order. This pitch way inside with a slider, and it counts now 2 balls, 2 strikes. So for a Sunday afternoon, once again in mid-August, a favorable temperature this afternoon. Temperatures between 83 to 85, and it's not supposed to get much hotter than it already is. 2-2 pitch. A little blooper, shallow right field. Rodriguez will make the catch, and the first out has been made. Back to first base goes Metzger. So J.D. Pulfer will come up. Pulfer in last night's game, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. Kansas City won last night 7-3, and a former face coming back into the seats as David Espinosa is here. Once again, Espinosa, a scout for the Miami Marlins. Played for Kansas City a couple of years ago, played for Wichita last year. One on, one out. Top of the first, no score as Pulfer takes a fastball right down the middle for a called strike. Pulfer on the year, batting .250, 7 home runs, 49 RBIs. More of a contact type of a hitter. That's what his role was in Gary when he was with the Railcats for a couple of years. He was traded to Laredo at the end of last year, right at the deadline. Here's a chopper pulled foul again, and the count is 0-2. So a lot of pitches here in the first inning for Kickham. Already 14 in the inning. He's got 1 out and a runner at first base. Designated hitter Dennis Phipps will follow. Laredo changing their lineup a little bit. Reynolds goes from the 3 spot down to the 5 spot today. Reynolds has really struggled in his limited time with the Lamers. Kickham set the 0-2 pitch and way inside. The slider darted way in and low, and the count is now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last night, Sean Fernie made his second start of the homestand. He went just shy of 50 pitches, pitched 4 scoreless innings. Kansas City's offense battling late in the game. The game was tied in the 6th before Kansas City kind of broke it open. Ground ball back to the pitcher.
Out at second, Frias relay throw to first is in time on a 1-6-3 inning-ending double play. So leadoff hit by pitch doesn't hurt Kickham in the inning. And after half of an inning, no score, Kansas City coming up on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Bottom of the first inning, no score. Kansas City coming up to the plate for the first time this afternoon. And this is the starting lineup put out there by John Massarelli this afternoon. The final game of the homestand, final game of the series. Kansas City has won the previous 6 consecutive games, and with that six-game winning streak, Kansas City is pulled now within 5 games of the Central Division leader, which today is Lincoln. Lincoln and Sioux City separating just by a half a game in the top spot in the Central. Leading off for Kansas City is the center fielder Tyler Massey. Mojica will bat second. He's at third base as Brett Wiley bats third at second base. The cleanup hitter, Jake Blackwood, is at first base with Anthony Gallus DHing and batting fifth. Batting sixth in left field is Tyson Gillies. Stolen Rodriguez will bat seventh. He's in right field. Vladimir Frias back at short. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth is the young catcher Tyler Moore. Massey, Mojica, Wiley, Blackwood, Gallus, Gillies, Rodriguez, Frias, Moore for Kansas City this afternoon. A gorgeous day for baseball. Sun is out in full force. The wind kind of whipping around a little bit, mostly coming in from left field, blowing directly back at the plate. And the first pitch by Dodson is right in there for a strike. Massey last night, 0 for 3, walked a couple of times, did score a run. Season batting average at .280. 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. 0-1 pitch off of the plate, right back to Dodson on one hop. And they'll flip it over to first in time for the out. And that is how the bottom of the first gets underway. Defensively for Laredo, Chavez will do the catching, Nieves at third. Rondon at short, Pulford at second. Poso goes from catching to first this afternoon, and the outfield left to right. Morrison, Metzger, Reynolds, a little bit different than we've seen in the previous 3 games of the series. So Phipps gets somewhat of the day off defensively. He is the DH. Reynolds goes from a DH to the outfielder. And the first pitch right in there to Mojica for a called strike. Mojica, the only batter last night that did not get a hit nor walk. He did reach on a fielder's choice, but he was 0 for 5 last night and takes a fastball off the inside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Home plate umpire this afternoon, Jordan Sandberg. Trent Delmont at first, and Brian Child is the third base umpire in the final game of the series. 1-1 pitch, and Mojica takes a fastball just inside. And the count now in Mojica's favor, 2 balls and a strike. Dodson once again, 1-0 record. He has not allowed a run so far this year, just his second start of the season. Last start against Texas, he went 6 scoreless innings, just gave up 1 hit, so he was pretty spectacular on August 9th, the last time he made a start, and the last time he made a pitching appearance. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Mojica takes a bit outside, full count 3-2. That was the same pitch that got Mojica looking to strike out in the first inning last night. A pitch that was about 1.5 feet outside. Sandberg more of a restricted zone, and the 3-2 pitch is popped up. Right center field, Metzger coming in, as is the right fielder Reynolds, and it's now Reynolds who takes control and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the first. That will bring up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wiley's been pretty much the storyline offensively for Kansas City for the past month and a half, ever since he was voted the player of the week, the offensive player of the week. He has just been very, very consistent, batting .330, a left-handed hitter. Takes a first pitch strike, and the count's 0-1. Wiley also has a little bit of sneaky power. Has some power, but more of a line drive hitter, more of a doubles hitter. 0-1 pitch, a little bit low, and the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Laredo has really kind of flipped the script this year. Typically, as I mentioned last night, Laredo builds their team more as an offensive team compared to their defense. And it's to be expected. Pete Encavalier, once great big league hitter for the Texas Rangers organization. This year, not that their offense isn't good. They've got some very good hitters. As the 2-1 pitch is fouled off, it's now 2-2. But even more so, they've been that much better pitching the baseball this year. And just kind of looking at the numbers when we look at Laredo and how they stack up in the league when we talk about overall pitching, they are the third best team in the league, an ERA of a 3.84. A sparkling team ERA, and they have really, really showcased it well. One reason why they're knocking on the door in the South Division, also knocking on the door in the wild card race. 2-2 pitch, line drive into left center field, is going to drop in for a hit. And Kansas City has the first hit of the game, and who else but Brett Wiley to get that first hit of the night. So Brett Wiley continues to hit. And base hit for Kansas City. Runner at first, 2 outs for Jake Blackwood. Last night, Wiley did have a hit, a big one. He had 2, in fact, but the big one was in the 3rd inning. A 1-out, 2-run double that gave Kansas City the early 2-0 lead. Kansas City would hold on to win 7-3. So a good start for Wiley, and that'll bring up Blackwood. Jake batting .266, right-handed hitter with 12 home runs. And the first pitch is a pretty good fastball, but barely missed low. 93 miles per hour on the gun by Zach Dodson. Kansas City with the maroon tops, white pants, black numbering and lettering. Yellow caps today. We'll talk more about the yellow caps in a couple of innings when Matt Folks joins us in the booth. Really no shift. The outfield plays straight up. At least the outfield has no shift. A big infield shift as the off-speed misses outside. The second baseman, Pulfer, pretty much is playing behind the bag at second. So there is a ton of room on the right side. If Blackwood could just put the ball on the ground on the right side, except right at the bag at first, he would walk into first with the base hit. 2-0 pitch is hammered to center field. Metzger going back, still retreating, and will make the catch in front of the warning track for the final out of the inning. So Blackwood hit it hard, was looking for a very hittable pitch on a 2-0 count, got it, and drove it to deep center, but Metzger, who was hobbled in the top half of the first inning, able to run it down to make the catch, and each team goes down scoreless in the top of the first and the bottom of the first inning. We head to the second, no score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the second inning, no score. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark here in Kansas City, Kansas. Mike Kickham back to work in the second and throws the first pitch strike to Dennis Phipps. Dennis Phipps returned in the cleanup spot. He is the DH tonight or this afternoon. Yesterday, Phipps was in right field, kind of giving him the day off defensively to try to keep that bat in the lineup. The 0-1 pitch is way outside, 2-0. Phipps, a very dangerous hitter, 273 average, 16 home runs, 49 RBIs, and that number kind of a little bit shocking. There's the 1-1 pitch, and it caught the outside corner, 2-1. And the reason it's more of a surprise is when you think of a guy that has 16 home runs, you're probably looking at a guy that you would typically think would have over 60 RBIs. That is not the case for Phipps, as the off-speed misses a bit outside. So the wind is really going to help a pitcher today, at least it appears that way. The wind just howling in from left field, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Phipps. Right down the middle, 90-mile-per-hour fastball taken for a called strike. And it's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Kickham, and 1 up and 1 down in the second. I really have no idea what Phipps was looking for. That was a perfect pitch by Kickham's part, just painted the black on the outside corner. A splendid location, and just absolutely fooled Phipps, and he went down to lead off the second. Now they'll bring up the right fielder Reynolds, and tries to check his swing, and apparently to Jordan Sandberg, he did check his swing, 1-0. Burt Reynolds in his limited time in Laredo batting .250. He has not driven in a run. He has not homered, that means, obviously. 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. That pitch just barely missed the outside edge. When you look around the league, there's really not much of a dangerous threat, or more of a dangerous threat than Phipps and Reynolds back-to-back. Here's a high chopper to third. Mojica has it. Reynolds busting it down the line, but he cannot get there fast enough. Good strong throw by Mojica. And 2 up, 2 down for the Kansas City defense. So much better start to the second inning for the lefty Mike Kickham. That'll bring up the first baseman, Jesus Poso. Poso was the catcher over the last couple of evenings. Last night 0 for 3. On the season, he's batting .272. He does have some power, 8 homers, 37 RBIs. And the first pitch, good fastball in the inside corner for a strike. The outfield for Kansas City is straight up, fairly deep. Middle of the infield, Frias at short, Wiley in second is on the outfield grass. Here's a chopper to short, should be a quick inning for Kickham. And it is a perfect 1-2-3 inning for Mike Kickham, as Frias' throw to first was right on the money. We head to the bottom of the second. No score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the bottom of the second inning. Nathan Moore back with you at Community America Ballpark here in KCK. 5, 6, 7 hitters. Gallus, Gillies, Rodriguez for Kansas City to face Zach Dodson in the second. Kansas City has the only hit of the game thus far. Mike Kickham worked around the leadoff hit by pitch in the first inning. Had a perfect 1-2-3 second. Dodson will look to follow suit. Kansas City hopes that they can take the first lead of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look while we have a quick second of the American Association standings. First in the North Division, St. Paul at 54-24, 30 games above 500. They have a 7.5 game lead over Winnipeg at 46-31. Fargo at 39-39. They're 15 games back despite being a 500 team. Sioux Falls 27-52. They are 27.5 back. They are mathematically eliminated from the postseason race coming into today. Here's the pitch. Gallus fouls it away, and down to the count, 0-1. In the Central Division, which obviously has the most impact, Lincoln 41-37, half a game lead over Sioux City at 41-38. Gary 2.5 back at 39-40. Gary has lost 2 straight in 8 of their past 10 games. Strike caught on the inside corner. Gallus behind in the count 0-2. Kansas City 36-42. 5 games back. Of course, the 6-game winning streak. The T-Bones have won 7 of their last 10. Good off-speed pitch. Gallus way out in front and strikes out. To complete the strikeout, the catcher Chavez throws down to first, but first out of the inning has been made. In the South Division, Wichita at 48-30, a 5.5 game lead over Laredo at 43-36. Joplin 28-50. They are 20 games back. They have won 2 consecutive games. In Texas at 28-51, 20.5 back. They have lost 7 of their last 10. So you talk about 3 teams coming into today pretty much already mathematically eliminated from any sort of a postseason race. That's pretty difficult to swallow when you have 20-plus games remaining. It'll be a big upcoming week for Kansas City because you've got a doubleheader that's coming up this week against Wichita, so 4 games in 3 days. Doubleheaders are really never easy. First and foremost, it's very difficult to win both games of a doubleheader. But also against a very good opponent as Wichita, they are 18 games up above 500, so they have been very, very good this year. And really, they started that stretch against Kansas City. Now, I think when you kind of look back at when did Kansas City really have their rough patch? When was that Kansas City had a kind of a turning point in the season? And I go back to the game on Monday, June 6th. That was here at Community America Ballpark. It was a Monday night. Kansas City had a 4-run lead in the top of the 9th inning. Wichita then struck for 4 runs in the 9th, beat Kansas City in extra innings. And that was a game that put Kansas City kind of in a tailspin. Wichita would go on to sweep Kansas City in that series, and then Wichita at that point just went on a roll. Here's a foul ball out of play, and Gillies still behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So that was the game, in my opinion, that really spiraled Wichita into first place in their respective division. Tyson Gillies batting .259, lefty versus lefty. 1-2 pitch, a chopper fouled on the first base line, and the count stays 1-2. Gary with the yellowish, creamish color top of the jersey. Black writing on the front and back. Gray pants. Previous 3 games, they had the kind of the digital camo jerseys. 1-2 pitch and a ground ball heading up the middle. Slow roller, tough play. Second baseman Pulfer is not going to make it in time. He really had to take a lot off of the throw. He was way off balance, and the ball was not hit all that sharply at all. So it'll be an infield single for Tyson Gillies, and Kansas City in back-to-back innings has a base hit. So a good start for Tyson Gillies. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. Zach Dodson, a very tough left-handed hitter. Dalton Wheat, a left-handed hitter. So this could be a couple of different scenarios of why Rodriguez is in over Dalton Wheat. One, because Rodriguez had such a very good game last night. Tough to sit a guy who's hot. Here's a ground ball to short. It's a double play ball, and Laredo turns it on a 6-4-3 double play. So before I can even tell you about possible situations of why Rodriguez was in, I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth before he grounds into an inning-ending double play. We head to the third. No score on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We head to the third. No score. Nathan Moore back with you as the T-Bones and Laredo Lemurs battle it out for the final game of the series. Kansas City has already won the series. They took the first 3 games, of course, today being the 4th and final game of the homestand. 7-game homestand. Kansas City is 6-0 so far on the homestand. There's a first pitch strike by Kickham. And Chavez behind on the count 0-1. Chavez batting .265, 0 for 4 last night as the pitch flies inside for a ball, 1-1. Laredo, coming into today, has really struggled against left-handed pitching, especially against Kansas City left-handed pitching. Here comes Kickham's 1-1 pitch, and it caught the outside corner. That is unhittable. There's really nothing you could do there. It was absolutely unhittable, and the count is 1-2 strikes. It's interesting because on the course of the year, Laredo is a better hitting team batting against left-handed pitchers. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a little chopper foul off his foot. In 2016, Laredo was batting .272 against left-handed pitching, and batting .270 against right-handed pitching. So on the course of the year, Laredo has actually hit better against lefties than they have righties. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Down goes Chavez on a ball that literally had so much sink on it, it hit the dirt. And the second strikeout of the afternoon for Kickham. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Alvaro Rondon. We will keep an eye on the American Association scoreboard update throughout the course of the game to try to get any scores that there may be out there that has obviously an impact in the Central Divisional race.
First pitch to Rondon just a bit outside, maybe low. That was the 32nd pitch of the game for Mike Kickham, who's pitched 2 1/3 scoreless innings. The only base runner that Laredo has was a leadoff hit by pitch, and here's a foul ball off the foot. And Rondon will kind of hobble down the first base line a little bit. So Laredo really was kind of hurting their own players. That'll force Kansas City's trainer to come out of the dugout. He'll just jog down and have a quick word with Rondon to see if he possibly might need some assistance. So Rondon is fine. He is not going to need any assistance except from a couple of extra moments of light stretching here before he sees another kick-em pitch. The 8th hitter of the game, Alvaro Rondon. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a bunt down the third base line. Mojica tried to barehand it, missed the baseball. It's an infield single. So you talk about a player who looked like he was in so much pain. And if, in my opinion, if I was in that much pain on my left ankle, as much as Rondon really displayed, then I don't think I would be bunting the ball and having to sprint out of the batter's box. So either one, Rondon was absolutely faking and he had no pain whatsoever and tried to bait the defense, which obviously worked for a hit. Or two, he just completely outminded his pain. Nonetheless, it's the first hit for Laredo. Now a great pickoff attempt, and Blackwood dropped the baseball, or they might have had Rondon out. Kick him with a very good, quick move over to first. So 1 on, 1 out. We're in the top of the third, no score. Left fielder Ty Morrison, who led off the last couple of games in the series, now batting in the 9th spot. Here's the pitch, and right there for a strike. 88 with the fastball, and once again, Kickham jumps ahead of a hitter, 0-1. On deck, eventually, will be Brendan Metzger. At least we would assume. There is no Metzger on the on-deck circle. He has not made his presence seen at this point. Kickham's 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch, and the count's 0-2. So now Metzger will finally come out of the dugout. Runner at first, 1 out. We are in the third. Double play depth for Kansas City up the middle. Mojica at third, way off the bag at third base. So if Morrison were to hit it to the left side, he'd have a good chance to walk in for a hit. Ground ball to first. Blackwood will flip it to the pitcher covering. Bang, bang play at first, and Kansas City gets the out. So that's the second out of the inning on a 3-1 putout. Rondon goes to second. Brett Wiley kind of taking some blame as to not being over there to help the pitcher. Immediately after the out was made, Kickham made the catch. Wiley signaling right away that his bat, he wasn't in proper positioning. One, it might have been easier for him to get than possibly Blackwood. But nonetheless, good athletic play by Kickham, good fielding by Blackwood, and now 2 outs and a runner at second base for Laredo. Back to the top of the order. Brendan Metzger has been almost impossible for Kansas City to get out in the last 2 days. Here's the pitch, and there's a fastball strike. Last night, Metzger went 1 for 2, and he scored twice and was walked twice. So he has been a very difficult guy to get out. Already today he's been on base, so on base a lot, which is exactly probably the main reason that Pete Caviglia moving up the center fielder to the leadoff spot. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a chopper right back to the mound, and fielding it is Kickham, who will apply the two-handed tag, and the inning is over. So Metzger is out on a 1 unassisted putout, and Mike Kickham has 3 scoreless innings. We head to the bottom of the third. Still no score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Bottom of the third inning, no score. Kansas City's Vladimir Frias, Tyler Moore, and Tyler Massey will lead off in the third inning against Zach Dodson. An interesting note on Dodson, his last start came last week, but before that start, Dodson had not pitched in a professional game since the previous November. He was in the Pirates and Orioles organizations. However, he was unable to pitch. He was serving out a suspension. So he has not pitched in a professional outing, at least in an affiliated baseball, since last November. He was on a roster, but when he got cleared of that suspension, there was no room for Dodson. So for him, this is an opportunity to kind of reharness the attention, try to get some additional attention to possibly get picked back up by an affiliated club. So far, all he's done is pitch 8 scoreless innings in his first start and a half in the American Association. Here's the pitch, and Frias misses a bit inside, or takes a bit inside. That evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the third inning, Kansas City has out-hit Laredo 2-1. No defensive mistakes at the moment, and the pitch is up and in, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. You can't really think of a better or picture a better setting for a baseball game than we have right now. Gorgeous day at the ballpark. 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball strike, and the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vladdy last night went 1 for 4, did drive in a run. 2-2 pitch on the way, and Frias fouls it away down the left field line, and that will force the left fielder Morrison to come in from his defensive spot to get the foul baseball and toss it into the seats for a souvenir. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Way off the line is the first baseman Poso. He is way off the line by about 25 to 30 feet. 2-2 pitch, way outside, swung on and missed, and down goes for Frias. That's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Dodson. He got Frias guessing badly on the pitch, and 1 up, 1 down for Tyler Moore. Both pitchers, at least in the first 3 innings, both pitchers seeming to be in a groove, which could be bad news for Laredo, could be bad news for Kansas City. And ultimately, a good news for every fan watching the game, as it could be possibly a very good game from start to finish.
Here's the pitch to Tyler Moore, and its fastball is in the dirt, and Moore gets ahead of the count. Tyler batting .234, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, first professional season. He went 1 for 1 last night, came in as a defensive substitution. Steve Swingle, who started the game, had to be helped off of the field in the 7th inning, and saw him in the clubhouse last night, but he is not playing today. 2-0 pitch, and there's a high strike, makes the count 2-1. Dodson quickly back to work, and another fastball swung on and missed. From 2-0 to 2-2. Dodson really not giving Kansas City hitters a lot of hitting counts. Continues to fill up the strike zone. Now the 2-2 pitch. In a high fastball, sails at 87, and the count is full 3-2. Dodson nor Kickham has walked a batter. Kickham did allow a hit by pitch in the first inning. 3-2 pitch, outside ball 4, so right on cue. That's the first free pass of the game, issued by Dodson. And that'll bring up the center fielder Tyler Massey, who grounded out to the pitcher to begin the bottom of the first inning. He is 0 for 1. And right away, out goes Chavez, the catcher. He'll go out to talk with the starting pitcher. So now Laredo is going to kind of do a little bit of shifting around here. Way off the bag at third is Nieves. Deep in the hole at second is Pulfer. And more shaded toward left in center field is Metzger. So a gigantic hole in right center field, and Massey tries to pull a bunt and pulls it foul. Shallow in right Reynolds, shallow in left Morrison, but if Massey could pull one to right center field, he would run forever. They would be off to the races. There is nobody in right center field. Massey, a left-handed hitter, and he is a hitter that uses all fields. We'll see if he can get a pitch to pull. More a small lead, not running, and the 1-0 pitch and the 1-strike pitch lined into center field for a hit. So Kansas City has their third hit, and back-to-back base runners here in the third inning. And 2 on, 1 out. That'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Jimmy Mojica. So Tyler Massey gives Kansas City another hit. Tyler Moore moves into scoring position. And for the first time today, Kansas City does have a runner in scoring position. Now we'll see if Jimmy Mojica can come through with a big RBI base hit. Runner at second, Moore. Runner at first, Massey. Once again, Laredo kind of shifting more toward left. A lot of room in right center. First pitch to Mojica, right down the middle. Good breaking ball to jump ahead, and the count is 0-1. One of the rare times we've seen Dodson throw anything but a fastball. Double play depth up the middle. That's exactly what Laredo wants. They have turned 2 inning-ending double plays already. Pitch outside, evens the count 1-1. In the first inning, I take that back, they did not get a double play. It was a 2-out fly ball out that was hit squarely by Blackwood. In the second inning, Sterling Rodriguez grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the second. Now the 1-1 pitch. Mojica, a little flare shot in the center. It's going to drop in for a hit. Tyler Moore on his way from third. The center fielder Metzger's got an arm, and Metzger guns down Tyler Moore. It wasn't even close. You saw that one coming. Brennan Metzger has shown his arm over the last 3 years in this league. Tyler Moore gunned down at the plate, and it wasn't really close. He was out by about 5 feet, and Kansas City makes the second out of the inning at the plate. So Mojica gets a hit. However, Tyler Moore out at the plate on an 8-2 assist put out by the center fielder Metzger. I saw Dave Schaub's arm winding rather quickly, and I could tell right away that that could have been a very risky proposition, and Kansas City runs into an out. And now a swing and a miss. Wiley misses the first one, and down to the count 0-1.
So instead of the bases loaded, 1 out, Kansas City has runners on the corners and now 2 outs, and still haven't shown anything for their 3 consecutive base runners. See if Wiley can get his second hit already. 0-1 pitch way outside, and the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wiley singled in the first inning. He was the first hit of the game. So let's see. Would you rather have the bases loaded with a 350 hitter or a 330 hitter with 1 out, or would you rather have first and third 2 outs with that 330 hitter? Kansas City has always been aggressive on the base paths, but here's the 1-1 pitch. A little ground ball to short. Looks like it wouldn't have mattered. That was a double play ball, and Wiley is out on a 6-3 putout. So Kansas City gets 2 hits and a walk, but cannot cash it in for a run. We head to the 4th. Still no score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Top of the 4th inning, no score. Kansas City and Laredo with a pitcher's duel, at least to start in the first 3 innings. Mike Kickham working against Abel Nieves. 1 ball, 1 strike on the third baseman Nieves, who is 0 for 1. Now the 1-1 pitch, a chopper to the left side, diving play Mojica, and the ball gets under his glove into left field for a hit. Second hit of the game for Laredo, and the first hit of the afternoon for Nieves. And now the question is, with the realm of baseball, how much of a momentum boost is that going to be for Laredo after getting out of the inning? After giving up back-to-back hits, giving up a walk, Kansas City making a critical out at the plate, giving Laredo an opportunity to get off the hook. Now it's up to Mike Kickham to keep the game right where it is. Here's the pitch, his 43rd of the game, and he hits another hitter. So J.D. Pulfer is hit by a pitch, and once again, the game of baseball is kind of a crazy game in regards to momentum and all that. Kansas City had a golden opportunity in the bottom of the 3rd. They did not take advantage, and now all of a sudden, Kickham has put himself in a troubling situation in the 4th. The first 2 are on, and there's nobody out in the top of the 4th. And now you talk about some power, and more power coming up. Dennis Fitz is 0 for 1, struck out looking in the 2nd, but he's got 16 home runs, and he's one pitch away from giving Laredo a very large lead. Here's the pitch. And a fly ball down the right field line. Long run Rodriguez. He's not going to get there, and it's going to fall untouched into the seats and ricochet back onto the field for a strike. So a big inning here for Kickham in inning number 4. Trying to re-harness that momentum for Kansas City. A 1 hour first 3 innings here today. Friday night, the game kind of flew by. Last night really drug by. What situation are we going to have this afternoon? Right now, Kickham would love to see a ground ball opportunity for a double play. Kansas City has turned one of those in this game. 0-1 pitch. Phipps tried to bunt. Kansas City is asking for an appeal. Finally got an appeal. And Trent Delmont gives the Kansas City T-Bones a called strike on the appeal. So the count's 0-2 on Phipps. Home plate umpire Jordan Sandberg never was going to give it. Kansas City dugout was just barking at him, and finally he appealed to Delmont, who did in fact give the called strike. Now the 0-2 pitch, just a bit low, good pitch. And the count is 1-2, and Phipps is very unhappy with Sandberg there, as he thought he had time still out. He thought Kickham was quick pitching him. Kickham still way ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Would love to see a ground ball. Chance for a double play. Kickham checks of the runners, and the 1-2 pitch is way high and outside. Fastball that registering at 95 according to the radar gun. And the count is even 2-2. Runner at second, Nieves. Leadoff single to left field to begin the inning, and then a hit by a pitch on Pulfer. 2-2 pitch, a vicious swing, and a foul ball straight back. And the count stays at 2-2. So that hit by pitch, big. It's the second hit by pitch allowed by Kickham. 1 in the first and now 1 in the fourth. And J.D. Pulfer was the guy that grounded into the inning-ending double play in the first inning. Very first pitch plunked this time around, and now the 2-2 pitch ripped into right field. That's a base hit. They are not going to test the arm of Rodriguez, so Laredo is going to force Kansas City to get an out. A completely different situation, Kansas City in the third, so Laredo not being aggressive. They've got the bases loaded. Kansas City was aggressive, and Laredo made the big out at the plate, so now the bases are loaded for Burt Reynolds, who's batting .231. So a lot of trouble now for Kickham here in the fourth inning. 2 hits and a hit by pitch, and all of a sudden Laredo is in business. It's the first time in an inning in which Kickham has allowed more than 1 base runner. Here's the pitch. Reynolds pops it up. Shallow right field. Now it's going to push Rodriguez back a little bit. Rodriguez has a little bit of momentum behind him. He's going to throw it to the cutoff man. The lead is now Laredo's. It's 1-0 on the sacrifice fly. Sterling Rodriguez does not have the arm like Dalton Weed has in right field. So that is an easy tag-up call for Laredo. I mean, Rodriguez looked like he put everything behind it, and he just got it to the infield before it rolled to Blackwood. So no chance for a out at the plate. It's a sacrifice fly. In to score is Nieves. Staying at second base is Pulfer. Staying at first is Phipps. Laredo has their first lead of the afternoon, and the first pitch to Poso is a bit high for ball 1. That was pitch number 51 for Kickham. So it's crazy how it always seems to happen. You don't take an advantage of a golden opportunity, and then the opposing team immediately comes back and scores. They reclaim everything. Big swing and a miss, and the count's even, 1 ball and a strike. Seen it like 1,000 times, it seems like. Kansas City really needs a double play ball. Coming set, Kickham, big lead at second. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Moore. The count's 2 balls and a strike. Laredo, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Kansas City, no runs on 4 hits, also no errors. Kansas City has had more base runners. Wind is still blowing in from left. 2-1 pitch, a high chopper that goes foul out of play to the left side, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For as well as both starting pitchers has gone, kind of still a slower paced game. A lot of pitches, a lot of foul balls. And right now a little bit of a delay as Kickham kind of stayed around home plate. Don't know if he was talking to Moore or if he was talking to the home plate umpire, but Kickham needing his second and third out of the fourth to move the game to Kansas City's home half of the fourth inning. Coming set, Kickham. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball might be double play. Out at second. Wiley's relay to first in time for 2 on a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. So exactly what Kickham needed, he got to end the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Laredo has the lead. It's 1-0 on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark. Kansas City, Kansas. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Blackwood, Gallus, and Gillies for the T-Bones in the fourth inning. Kansas City, their best scoring opportunity came in the third. They had a one-out walk to Tyler Moore, and then back-to-back one-out singles by Massey and Mojica, but failed to score in the third inning. And now Dodson pitching with his first lead of the day. 1-0 Laredo after scoring 1 in the top half of the fourth inning. Blackwood on the day is 0 for 1, lined out to center in the first inning. This time a much easier play as he pops it up on the infield. Second baseman Norris makes the catch for the out, and 1 up, 1 down in the fourth inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter Anthony Gillis. Or Gallus, who's 0 for 1. Kind of put Gallus and Gillies together. So Gallus, who is 0 for 1, struck out to begin the second. A lot of room in right center field as Laredo constantly is moving Metzger toward left center, leaving right center wide open. Gallus takes a bit low on the curveball, and the count's 1-0.
Gillies to follow. Off speed, swung on and missed, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 run on 3 hits for Laredo. No runs on 4 hits for Kansas City. A pitcher's duel so far early on between Dotson and Kickham. A very good big-time throw by Metzger in center field to get the out at the plate. As Gallus takes a very high fastball for a strike, 1-2. Dotson, very good pace. Back to work. 1-2 pitch. Sent down the right field line, but foul, and he'll one-hop into the seats and hit a fan in the chest. And then that fan couldn't make the play on it. And it is lying on the warning track. And Trent Delmont just yelling at the home plate umpire Sandberg to get the attention that the ball was still on the playing field. First base coach Frank White back in uniform today for Kansas City, as is Dave Schaub at third base. Dodson way ahead of Gallus. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Line drive into left field for a hit. Boy, Laredo had 3 infielders pretty much on the left side of the infield, and Gallus somehow just barely able to shoot it right in between Pulfer and Nieves. Kansas City's 5th hit of the game, and Gallus is on for the first time. So a solid line drive hit to the left side. And that'll bring up the left fielder Tyson Gillies, who singled in the second inning. He is 1 for 1. So Kansas City might slowly be finding out the solution to get to Zach Dotson. But still, with his 2 starts, he's gone 9 innings here this year professionally. He is not allowed to run yet, as Gillies swings at a high fastball and misses. 0-1. Once again, Laredo kind of leaving the right side of the outfield wide open. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And pitching outside, missing outside. Fastball at 90 miles per hour. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez will follow, and then Latimer Frias a little bit further down the line if Kansas City can get the line to the shortstop. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. Tough play. Only the play to be made is at first. And Norris throws Gillies out at first. Up to second goes Gallus. And now 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Rodriguez, who grounded into an inning-ending double play in the second inning. Now Laredo doing a very good job of communicating in between batters. Every time a new situation arises, infielders coming in, talking with the starting pitcher, making sure he is aware of where everybody is at. Also in the lineup, where they are in the lineup. First pitch to Rodriguez, taken right down the middle for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Runner at second, Gallus, represents the tying run for KC. Lined on the left field line, but hooking foul into the seats. And the count's 0-2. So Dave Schaub was already waving around Gallus, but that one was foul about 20 feet. And now Rodriguez down in the count 0-2 at the mercy of Zach Dodson. See if Starlin can come away with a 2-out hit. A 2-out, 2-strike hit. Dodson coming set, looks in, 0-2 pitch, way inside, almost hit him, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was a hard slider that came all the way in on the shoe tops of Rodriguez. With 2 outs in the bottom part of the order, you can almost guarantee that Dave Schaub will be sending Gallus around a score if Rodriguez can get a hit to the outfield somewhere. Still test that arm of the outfielders. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball foul. Might have broke his bat just past third. And the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez did, in fact, break his bat. He's heading back to the dugout. Tyler Massey, the outfield teammate that retrieves a new black bat for Starlin Rodriguez. An off day tomorrow for Kansas City. They will have tomorrow off. Wichita for 3 games. Check that, 4 games in 3 days. A doubleheader in that set of 3 days. Here's the 1-2 pitch again. Rodriguez takes it way outside. Fastball missed, and the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gallus at second, singled with 1 out in the inning. Trying to score the first run. 2-2 pitch. Little blooper, shallow right field. Reynolds is already there, jogs in a couple of feet, makes the catch. And again, Kansas City strands a runner in scoring position. We head to the 5th. Kansas City down by 1 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We head to the 5th inning. Nathan Moore back with you in the 5th inning. 1-0 Laredo with the lead. Zane Chavez, Norris, and Morrison coming up in the 5th inning. Kansas City has out-hit Laredo 5-3, but at the moment in time, Laredo with that small lead, getting a couple of hits in the 4th inning. Kickham got himself out of a big jam. The bases were loaded, 1 out. He got out of it with just the 1 run, but more trouble again. A leadoff hit by Chavez in the 5th inning. So now all of a sudden Laredo is finding a solution against Kickham. Kickham had only 1 perfect inning in the 2nd. Did face 3 in the 1st. Allowed a 1-out single in the 3rd, but allowed 2 hits and a hit by pitch in the 4th inning. That hit by pitch was huge to that inning, because that hit by pitch allowed Laredo an extra runner in scoring position, which would aid in the scoring process. Now we will see Jimmy Norris for the first time. He's going to come in and takes the spot of Alvaro Rondon, playing second base. Shows a bunt, misses it, snap throw to second. Blackwood missed the tag, and the count is 1-0. Good snap throw decision by Moore, but Blackwood was not back onto the bag and easily able to stretch in safely with Chavez. We are in the 5th. Kansas City trailing by 1. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Shows a bunt, pops it up. First base line, it will go foul. And that's exactly when Kickham picks it up.
And the count is even, 1-1 So Jimmy Norris doing everything he can to give himself up for an out, just to move the runner up 90 feet. Norris batting .156, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Kansas City looking for an opportunity to possibly turn another double play. They ended the inning in the 4th with a double play. It is the second double play of the afternoon Kansas City has turned. Will Norris be bunting again? Showing the bunt, misses it as it's taken inside, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. So Norris pretty much showing exactly what he's going to do. He is going to bunt the baseball. Kickham has thrown a lot of pitches low around the shins. See if Kickham can find a way to get Norris to pop one up. There's the bunt right to third. Mojica has a tough hop, but he fields and throws to first in time for the out. So a sacrifice bunt by Jimmy Norris. Up to second goes Chavez. And up comes the number 9 batter, Ty Morrison, who is 0 for 1. Good play by Mojica. You know, you always think about a bunt and how a team's trying to give away an out. That's exactly what Laredo was trying to do, but it was a difficult short hop. And Mojica fielded it cleanly and a solid throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. But that takes away a double play, and now the runner moves into scoring position. Lefty-lefty matchup with Morrison coming up. Here's the pitch, and Morrison takes a strike on the outside corner. Morrison batting .287. 4 homers, 36 RBIs. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to the first baseman Blackwood for the second out of the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Morrison's swing started high, and he kind of axed straight down and missed contact, 0-2. Wind continues to blow in from left field, so it will help a little bit for Kickham, help Dodson a little bit. A gorgeous day for baseball. Once again, the sun is shining. A few clouds in the area. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. The runner going to third. Frias has only play is at first. A low throw, an extended throw that almost pulled Blackwood off of the bag, but Frias also fielding a very difficult backspin on the baseball. So a 6-3 putout. Chavez moves up to third, but 2 really good plays on both sides. One, to stop the baseball with any effect of a mistake by Frias. And then on the other side of the play, Blackwood keeping his foot on the bag and extending his body out toward right field to make the catch. So now 2 outs, runner at third base for Brennan Metzger. Here's the pitch. And a little bit inside. In fact, did it hit the batter? No, it did not. And actually, we're going to move things all the way around. Rondon does, in fact, stay in the game, but Rondon is the new center fielder. And Metzger is the guy who is out of the game. So now it is Jimmy Norris. Here's the pitch, and a ground ball heading up the middle. Frias has it, and just a solid throw to first. A fantastic play by Vladimir Frias on a 6-3 putout, and a very good inning from Mike Kickham in the 5th inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0 Laredo on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the bottom of the fifth inning alongside Matt Folks. Nathan Moore with you as Kansas City looking for their first run of the afternoon. Kansas City will have Vladimir Frias, Tyler Moore, and Tyler Massey due up in the fifth inning. I talked about it earlier, Matt, that the T-Bones were wearing a yellow baseball cap today. That is in semblance of Marillac and the prevention of suicides. We had this the last couple of years toward the end of the season. The yellow hats really stand out with the red tops. Here's the pitch to Frias. A line shot left center field. Going to drop in front of the outfielders for a hit. Over comes Rondon, but not before. Vladimir Frias has his first hit of the game and Kansas City's sixth hit of the afternoon.
Yeah, obviously it's a great cause, if you will. And Marillac is they've been involved with us for a couple of years, and so to just bring awareness to suicide prevention this way.
See if Tyler Moore can get on base. Moore walked in the third inning. He was 1 for 1 last night in his only plate appearance, in relief of Steve Swingle, who started the game last night, had a big hit late in that game. Showing a bunt, pops it up, fouls it straight back, and the count is 0-1. You can kind of expect that a bunt was coming. This is a game in which 2, maybe 3 runs is probably going to be the deciding winner of the game, and whoever can get to 2 or 3 runs quicker. The way Kickham and Dodson has both been pitching, they have kept the opposing offenses from scoring. However, KC does have 6 hits, but Metzger, before he was taken out of the game, had a phenomenal out at the plate. Another bunt right back to the mound. Dodson has to hurry, turns and fires to first, and does in fact get Tyler Moore out for the first out of the 5th inning.
A perfect bunt by Tyler Moore. We've seen some bunting issues over the last few games, but that was a perfectly placed bunt for Tyler.
And now, as we've seen a lot over the course of this afternoon, a lot of conversations with the entire defense coming in and talking with the pitcher, Zach Dodson. But this time it really wasn't about coming in to talk, about a rather large piece of sod, grass, was just kicked from the area of the mound, and I'm sure our grounds crew wasn't very pleased that about 9 to 12 inches of sod was just ripped out from the playing field.
No, so a couple of the umpires going over to inspect the area, along with the third baseman from Laredo, Nieves. Nieves, I'm sure you've mentioned, was activated earlier today.
Breaking ball stays up. Massey 1 for 2. Yeah, Nieves is a player that Laredo has had the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has given Kansas City fits over the last few years.
1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. Massey is even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the third inning, Kansas City has had their best scoring chance. They had a 1-out walk, that was more. Massey singled. They had first and second, 1 out, and then Mojica singled. Kansas City aggressively trying to score more from second base. Moore was out by about 5 feet. It really wasn't close. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part of that was the guy on deck was Brent Wiley. So instead of having the bases loaded 1 out, it became runners on the corners, 2 outs. Wiley did hit a sharply hit ground ball to short. It might have ended up being a double play anyway. It might not have mattered. However, that play, it always seems, Matt, when you've watched baseball so many games, that when your defense, when you make that big of a play, it always seems the other team takes immediate advantage, and that's what they did. They took the lead in the fourth right after that out at the plate.
Yeah, and it was one of those that third base coach Dave Schaub was waving more the entire way.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Massey fouls it straight back. Another off-speed pitch, so Dodson, third time through the order, trying to limit the amount of fastballs that Massey is seeing.
And it was give Metzger credit. It was a good throw from center.
Perfect throw. I was mentioning that we've seen his arm a lot over the last couple of years, primarily in Gary. He's got a very good arm. There's a couple guys that has the ball in the outfield. You test it with ease. There's other guys that have cannons. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. The count's 2-2.
Well, and really, I think it should be getting around the league that, for the most part, you don't test the Kansas City outfielders' arms.
Especially Gillies. He's really shown that this homestand.
But we've seen Wheat with some great throws from right. We've seen Massey with some outstanding throws from center.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to call it the weakest arm in the outfield, which is a bad word to use, but Rodriguez probably would be that department. Covers a lot of ground. We've talked a lot this year about how Kansas City has so many outfielders that could play center. He is one of those guys that can play center. 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Massey strikes out at a pitch in the dirt. That is the third strikeout of the afternoon for Dodson, and now 2 outs for Mojica, who is 1 for 2.
Yeah, in fact, earlier in this series, we saw, earlier in this homestand, I think it was 2 games against Lincoln. Games number 1 and 3 in that series, or 2 and 3, you had...
2 and 3, first inning.
First inning, both nights.
Same guy.
Tried to stretch a single into a double, and Gillies threw him out both times. The second time was even more definitive than the first time.
Now Mojica pops this one up, foul territory, trying to get into the seats, and it does, about 7 rows back. 0-1 on Mojica, is now batting .261 on the year. Kansas City needs a 2-out hit to try to tie the game in the 5th. They trail 1-0.
Now, I just saw something really cool, and I saw it last night, so a bunch of kids scattered after that ball. It's way down the line. And one kid got it and gave it to another kid. They don't know each other. They're going in opposite directions, but he called him and tossed the ball back to him.
0-1 pitch, hit to deep left field. Back goes Morris into the warning track, and just in front of the wall, makes the catch for the final out of the 5th inning. So Mojica gave it a ride, but not deep enough. And Kansas City, for the 3rd consecutive inning, strands a runner in scoring position. We head to the 6th, 1-0 Laredo on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We head to the sixth inning. Kansas City trailing by 1-0, as Vladimir Frias fills the first out off of the bat of Abel Nieves, who made an out on the first pitch. An interesting day at the ballpark, to say the least, as the next pitch to Pulfer is way outside. Matt, the sixth is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Nate. You know, we see something new every day.
That's the truth.
Or you experience something new every day.
Or hear it.
Or hear it. As the next pitch from Kickham to Pulfer is in there for a called strike. Kickham's twin brother Dan is here today, former T-Bones pitcher who pitched here in 2012. He is here with his parents, or the Kickham parents, or the Kickham boys' parents, as this one's a one-hopper to Wiley. Easy play as he gets over to first, and Pulfer is retired 4-3. So it's good to talk to Dan for a few minutes. He is now working in St. Louis. And when I asked Mike earlier in the season, when Mike signed, I said, "What's Dan doing?" He said he's doing social work in St. Louis. He's working at basically a boys' home, and it's pretty cool work that he's doing over in St. Louis. So it was good to catch up with Dan for a few minutes, and fun to see him as Phipps goes after the first pitch, grounds it right back to Kickham, who flips it over to Blackwood for a quick, very quick 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Kansas City trailing at 1-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as Brett Wiley leads things off. The first pitch to Wiley in for a ball from Zach Dodson, who has been very effective today. He's scattered 6 hits here today, but Kansas City has yet to score. 1-0 in favor of the Lemurs. This one's in there for a strike to Wiley. Wiley 1 for 2 today, singled in the first, grounded out in the third. And on the left side of the plate, Dodson, the left-hander, wheels and deals the 1-1 pitch, and it's blooped toward the shortstop, and Pulfer is there to make the play for out number 1. And you get this feeling as Dodson's at 74 pitches, and with the way we saw Laredo's bullpen being used, particularly yesterday in Kansas City's win, you would love to get to that bullpen, but the way Dodson has been pitching, you really need to at least try to get some base runners here, get his pitch count up, as the first pitch to Blackwood is outside. You would love to get into that Laredo bullpen today. The windup of the next pitch to Blackwood is on the outer part of the plate for a called strike.
Yeah, the bullpen didn't look very sharp last night. They were pretty much all used last night. It'll be good to see them back in action again today at some point.
As the 1-1 is lifted into center field, drifting over is Rondon, and he will make the play right next to Reynolds for out number 2. So Blackwood 0 for 3 today. And that'll bring up the DH, Anthony Gallus. Gallus with one of Kansas City's 6 hits today. He struck out in the second, singled, and was stranded at second in the fourth. 1-0 Lemurs as Gallus goes after the first pitch and fouls it off the leg of Chavez, the catcher.
Laredo's doing it again where practically 3 of the infielders are all on the left side of second base. There's a gigantic shift. Gallus beat that shift last time up, just kind of shot it right between the third baseman and shortstop for a hit, but that shift continues to be deployed by Laredo. It's, you kind of think that Gary was a team that was shifting the most when we've seen them, but after this series, Laredo seems like they're the team that has adopted the shift the most in this league. They seem to have some sort of a shift on every single batter.
Well, I'm talking with James Nasser, their broadcaster. He said that they've been doing that all season, and he started laughing the other day. He said, you guys have beat the shift more than anybody else. In spite of that, though, they keep employing it, and Gallus is one of the guys that has beat that shift a couple times in the series. Here's the 1-strike pitch. It's down low. Now, the one thing about the shift that you can say, as they use it a lot against pretty much every team in the league, they have the second baseman, in this case Norris, almost right behind second base. And so as James Nasser pointed out, he said, I've seen more balls that would be base hits up the middle get cut off by the second baseman, which may be true, but if you're a team that can hit opposite field, for a right-handed hitter, you can beat that, I would think, more often than not. 1-2 the count to Gallus. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back and out of play.
I think the most important thing about when you talk about a shift is obviously you have to have a pitcher that hits his spots. And when you have so many infielders on the left side, the worst thing you want to do is keep pitching to the outside part of the plate, where Gallus could easily go with the pitch and obviously a greater chance of getting a hit.
Well, that's been one issue with the Lemur pitching staff so far this series. They have not been hitting those spots. There's a case in point is the pitch misses outside, but it was on the outer half of the plate.
Yep. Well, you're talking about a pitching staff, which is top 3 in the league. They came in today as the 3rd best pitching staff in regards to team ERA in the league.
As Gallus rips one, but it's hooking foul way out over the micro league beer stand. Almost got out of the park. It hit the black railing out there and ricocheted back in.
That gentleman was pretty quick.
He was. His cat-like reflexes is a 2-2 pitch. Gallus checked his swing. They say he did not go around. A fortuitous call there for Anthony Gallus. So Gallus digs back in on the right side of the plate. Dodson with a long look in. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 4. So Gallus draws a 2-out walk here in the 6th inning with Laredo leading it by a score of 1-0, and it brings up Tyson Gillies.
And Gillies has had a very good homestand. Obviously, we talk about the walk-off home run quite a bit on Wednesday, but he's had a very good overall series. A couple of extra base hits, and he's added about 30 points to his average on the homestand. And
well, he had the walk-off home run, but then the very next night he scored what ended up being the winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning. As the first pitch is in there for a strike. Gillies 1 for 2 today, singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th.
He was a guy when he was added on that road trip in Lincoln when Kansas City made the move to place Cuso on waivers to sign Gillies. It kind of had a rough start with Kansas City, but he's started to heat up a little bit again.
As he grounds this one to the shortstop, Pulfer, who goes to first, and will get Gillies for out number 3. So Kansas City gets a 2-out walk, but Gallus will be stranded. We've played 6. We head to the 7th, 1-0 Laredo. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We go to the 7th inning, 1-0 in favor of Laredo as Mike Kickham here to face Burt Reynolds, Jesus Poso, and Zane Chavez, the 3 scheduled hitters for the Lemurs, with Laredo holding on to a 1-0 lead. And I had mentioned last inning that Dotson was pitching very well today. Well, Kickham, in spite of the 1 run, has given up only 4 hits today. Kickham sitting at 72 pitches as we hit the 7th inning. His best inning of the day probably came last inning At least his most efficient inning of the day was in the sixth when he used 4 pitches to get 3 outs. So the first pitch to Burt Reynolds is down low. Reynolds has moved down to the 5 hole today. And on the right side of the plate, kick him the lefty with a fastball at 88 on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Mike Kickham out of Springfield, Missouri. With the 1-1 pitch, it's lifted into shallow right. Rodriguez comes in, has plenty of time to camp under it and pull it down for out number 1. So it brings up Jesus Poso, also known as Panda, to his teammates. And to the public address announcer in Laredo. He's 0 for 2 today, and he watched the first pitch go by for a strike as Kickham hits 90 on that fastball. Poso tells his teammates, tells people he meets that he prefers being called Panda. Here's a high chopper from Panda over to Frias. Vladdy up with it over to first in time for out number 2. So a 6-3 put out for out number 2, and it brings up the catcher, Zane Chavez. Chavez played first base in the first game of this series. He's been catching the last 2 nights and now today. Chavez 1 for 2. He has one of the 4 hits for the Lamers as they lead at 1-0. And on the left side of the plate, fairly wide open stance and check swing foul over by the Lamer dugout. An absolutely gorgeous Chamber of Commerce kind of day here in Kansas City, Kansas today. This has been weather-wise an interesting homestand as there's a big swing and a miss by Chavez. Our first game of this homestand, Monday, it was about 80 degrees. It felt like a late fall, early spring kind of day. The very next day, the heat index hit 100. And now here we are about 85 today as this one's going away. Chavez batting .267, 5 home runs, 31 driven in. Kickham with the windup and the 1-2 pitch is grounded toward Wiley at second. He'll scoop it up and throw to first for another 1-2-3 inning. It took Kickham 7 pitches this inning to get 3 outs. And it's stretch time here at Community America Ballpark with Kansas City trailing it by a score of 1-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We go to the bottom of the seventh as we will close the book on Dodson as Luis de la Cruz. I had thought, and Nate and I talked about this on and off air, that with as many pitchers as Laredo had used, that they pretty much everybody had been spent at some point during this series, but indeed, the one guy who has not pitched against Kansas City, the one non-starter who has not pitched against Kansas City, is in there today. As Luis de la Cruz, a right-hander, replaces Zach Dodson. De la Cruz getting the bottom third of the lineup. Rodriguez, Frias, and Moore, the three scheduled hitters. As the first pitch is upstairs to Rodriguez, who's had a good last couple nights, had a double. Has scored a couple runs last night, had a solo home run. However, he is 0 for 2 here today in this 1-0 game in favor of Laredo. 1-0 pitch, bad looking swing by Rodriguez. He chased one low and away. De La Cruz making his 36th appearance. He's 1-1 with 3 saves and a 2.52 ERA. He's appeared in 39 1/3 innings. Right-hander against right-handers. Rodriguez grounds this one. Pulfer fields it, but will not make the throw. They had the shift on, and Pulfer was playing fairly deep, and that didn't help the cause at all. But he just couldn't get out of his glove, as he would have had to make a running throw from right around the edge of the dirt. So Kansas City will get its 7th hit of the day, and the leadoff runner aboard here in the 7th inning for Vladimir Frias. So Frias, with the right-hander De La Cruz now on the mound, will switch over to the left side of the plate. Hitting right-handed today against Dodson, Frias went 1 for 2. Third baseman Nieves sneaking in over at third. Which I guess if he's a third baseman, he should be sneaking in at third. One run, 4 hits for the Lemurs. No runs, 7 hits for Kansas City. De La Cruz comes set. Rodriguez gets his lead at first. Now De La Cruz will go over there. Rodriguez not with a big lead, but De La Cruz goes over there nonetheless. De La Cruz, 6'6", 225. He's given up now 37 hits on the year. 16 runs, only 11 of those have been earned. Here's the pitch to Frias, and it's right down the chute for a called strike. Vladdy, I'm not sure what he was doing. I mean, the pitch was right down the middle, and he kind of, occasionally you'll see hitters, for lack of a better term, give up on a pitch. where you realize they are not going to swing at the last moment, and that was the case with Frias. Now he wiggles the bat above his head. Here's the pitch on the outside part of the plate, so Frias now down the count 0-2. Two very hittable pitches for Vladimir Frias. De La Cruz comes set. He takes a long time to come set, but he finally does. Gives a check at first. And now Frias will call time. And De La Cruz kind of turned around like he was kind of frustrated with Frias, but De La Cruz taking forever to come to the plate. De La Cruz this year has struck out 31, walked 21. Opponents hitting .240 against him. And now another time called. And De La Cruz goes behind the mound and jumps up a couple times and grabs the rosin bag and slams it into the dirt. Frias digs back in on the left side of the plate. De La Cruz comes set once again. Rodriguez at first base, nobody out here in the seventh. Here's the pitch, popped up behind the plate. This one will find the seats. Bounce up into the suite level. So the count remains 0-2. Nate loves to talk about the pace of a game. I have fun with it too. As De La Cruz will throw over to first. But suddenly, and we're about almost 2 hours in, and we're in the seventh inning. That's all right. That's fairly average. On the good side. But we are down to a snail's pace on this little cat and mouse, and now Frias steps out. And, we've seen Vladdy has a way, and he has a way of getting in pitchers' heads sometimes, and they his. But I think he's starting to get in the head of De La Cruz a little bit. We'll see if it matters or not. Here's the pitch. Two-strike pitch is lined into right field for a base hit. Rodriguez rounds second. He will hold up there as Reynolds came up with it very quickly. And Frias with a big high five over with Frank White. Now with Tyler Moore coming up. You would think after he had a sacrifice his last time up, this would be another opportunity for a sacrifice bunt. And I talked about it a couple nights ago on Friday night when I was filling in for Nate, when there was a similar situation, and there was a lot of, again, I'm just going to call it cat and mouse going on with, I think Frias was the one getting ready to bunt, but just with the defense that Laredo was going to show with runners at first and second on a bunt possibility. And whether the third baseman will stay back, or whether he'll field it, whether the third baseman will field it and the shortstop sprints over, which we did see the other night, and it worked effectively. De La Cruz, first pitch to Moore, who gets the bunt down, and it's going to be a beauty, and Kansas City will have runners at second and third now with one out. So the other night we saw in a bunting situation, the third baseman sprint in and the shortstop beating the runner to third base for the out. This time, the shortstop Pulfer, who's mainly the second baseman for the Lemurs, he was moved over to shortstop with an injury today. But with that, he basically headed to second base, and third was just wide open. Now we get a trip to the mound. As you can really tell that De La Cruz, going back to that at bat with Frias, De La Cruz is just kind of in a funk. And we've seen him before, and he is an emotional type pitcher, but you could tell that Frias was getting in his head a little bit, and just with his mannerisms as this meeting on the mound started, you could tell that he's just all out of whack, at least mentally. So now Kansas City with a chance not only to tie the game, but to take a 2-1 lead. A base hit from Tyler Massey likely would do that. You have Rodriguez at third base, Vladimir Frias with speed at second. So Tyler Moore with no official at-bats today. He's walked and put down two great sacrifice bunts, and they're going to walk Tyler Massey to get to Jimmy Mojica. So what were we saying about an inning ago? It would be nice to get to the Laredo bullpen. Kansas City has done that, and now they'll have the bases loaded with one out for Mojica and Brett Wiley. Mojica, his last time up, lifted a fly ball deep to left field. It was deep enough that it obviously would have scored if Kansas City had a runner at third. It would score a runner from third. And it was deep enough that you would see Frias probably tag up from second. So we'll see what happens here as Mojica comes up with the bases loaded and one out. Mojica batting .257, one home run, 10 driven in. A base hit would likely give him 12 RBIs on the season as he digs in on the right side of the plate. De La Cruz staying in the stretch. The first pitch to Mojica is way inside. Mojica could have just worn that one on the hip and gotten some ice. Rodriguez at third base, Frias at second, Massey at first. 1-0 Laredo. Here's the pitch. And it's a fastball upstairs at 92. And now we'll get some action in the Laredo bullpen. Likewise, we'll get some action in the Kansas City bullpen, as Mojica will call time and step out. As Jeff Inman, a right-hander, warms up for Laredo. Here's the pitch to Mojica. Big swing and a miss on a, well, it would have been ball three. And that's one of those, you're left scratching your head. Your pitcher has not been close to the plate, and you go chasing one out of the zone after he nearly hits you, throws one high, and that one was low and away. So Mojica up there 2-1 now. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, possible double play. Pull for the second for one, over to first, not in time. Kansas City will tie the game. An outstanding slide by Tyler Massey at second base. Taking out Norris, who, again, Norris did not start at second today. He came in a few innings ago. It wasn't a very sharply grounded ball by Mojica, but certainly possible to turn a double play, but Massey with an outstanding takeout slide at second. He'll be out 6-4 for out number 2, but Rodriguez comes in to score, tying the game. Vladimir Frias goes to third base. And manager Pete Incaviglia makes the very slow trip to the mound to get De La Cruz out of there to bring Inman in. And with this call to the bullpen, we'll take a 2-minute timeout. Come back with Inman's numbers after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Well, the new pitcher, Jeff Inman, a 6'3", 200-pound right-hander, replacing Luis De La Cruz. Kansas City has tied the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now Brett Wiley will be the first batter to face Inman with runners at the corners. 2 outs here in the inning as the first pitch from Inman misses low and inside. Inman making his 36th appearance. He is basically the closer for Laredo. He's 2-3 with 11 saves on the year, 2.90 ERA. He's pitched in 40 1/3 innings. Given up 33 hits, 16 runs, 13 of those have been earned. He's walked 14, struck out 37. Opponents hitting .232 against him. But one of the better hitters in the league is up there against him now, and Wiley grounds one innocently to Poso, who will step on the bag for the 3rd out. But not before Kansas City, on really a great play all around. And Nate and I were talking about this during the break, but I had talked about Massey's takeout slide, and one of the things he pointed out was the way that Frias, who was going from second to third, really kind of slowed down running a little bit and blocked the view of Pulfer. So just great base running for Kansas City there, and the T-Bones able to tie it 1-1. Mike Kickham will be back out as we go to the 8th inning in a 1-1 game. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Mike Kickham back out there for the 8th, and he'll be facing the 8-9-1 hitters, Rondon, Morrison, and Norris. So Rondon in the right side of the plate leads things off in this 1-1 game, and first pitch misses low and away. Kickham has had his two most efficient innings, his two best innings, these last two. This one's on the ground to Frias, who will make a nice play going to his left and throw to first for round number 1. The last now 7 batters. 2 pitches to Nieves, 1 to Pulfer, 1 to Phipps, 2 to Reynolds, 2 to Poso, 3 to Chavez. Now 2 to Rondon. I don't have my calculator out, but I believe that's a total of 13 pitches now in 2 1/3 innings, as this one goes over the head of Ty Morrison.
Take that for your pitch count. Yeah. Yeah, it's been highly efficient. You talk about it, he kind of worked a little bit. The 4th inning was the big inning that kind of got away from him a little bit. Kind of a tough first inning, even though he only faced 3 batters, a couple of long, lengthy counts, but he's really responded nicely down the stretch.
As this one's in there for a strike to Morrison.
We talked about it yesterday at length that tomorrow being a day off, Kansas City might pick and choose how they alter the bullpen today with that extra day off. And since how good the starters have been, as this pitch misses, how good the starters have been in this series, that the bullpen has pretty much taken this series off for the most part. And so should be fairly fresh. Haynes was pretty much thrown into the game last night just to get some work in. So it'll be interesting to see what Maz does.
As the 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike to Morrison. 86 pitches now for Kickham. And, the interesting thing to that, and if you want to strategize a little bit if you're Maz, he's already thinking ahead a little bit to Tuesday, which is a doubleheader against Wichita. As this one's on the ground, right back to Kickham. He will sprint toward first and flip it over to Blackwood for the 1-3 putout.
Matt, his body language right now is telling me that he's not going to be easy to get out of this game. Even if he gets out of this inning in a 1-2-3 fashion, you're going to have to rip him out of the game for him not to want the 9th. His body language is just fun to watch right now. This is his game. He knows it. And in order to get him out of the game for the 9th, it's going to take a lot of persuasion by the coaching staff.
As Jimmy Norris the batter now. Norris replaced Metzger. He's 0 for 1 now against Kickham. In on the right side of the plate, Kickham wheels and deals the 1-ball pitch, and it's upstairs. But you're right, and it's interesting because there's a lot of competition among these Kansas City pitchers, the starting staff. So when Jared Messer throws a complete game shutout, you could tell that I talked with both Kickham and Messer together yesterday, and you could tell that Kickham was really excited for Messer, and he said, hey, I want to pick your brain a little bit here during this game tonight, as this one's on the ground to Frias. He one-hands it, throws over to first in time, and another 1-2-3 inning. And you're right, Kickham has had his 3 best innings. And now he quickly gets his offense back out there against Inman in this 1-1 game. We're going to take a timeout, and I was waiting to see if Kickham and Maz talked at all.
Well, Sobey and Maz was talking. That's what I was kind of watching, and now they both kind of go underneath the awning a little bit. You don't know what they're saying to him, but they're saying something.
Well, and we had seen Ybarra warming up for Kansas City an inning ago, and he sat down during that inning. So we'll see what happens when we come back, but nonetheless, we're in a 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as Kansas City tied this game last inning. Mike Kickham has been very efficient through 9 pitches last inning, or the top part of this inning, as we go to the bottom of the 8th in a 1-1 game. Now a 1-1 game. It was 1-0.
Now it's 1-1.
It is now 1-1. So to take you the rest of the way, the voice of your T-Bones, Nathan Moore. Nate.
Thanks, Matt. Jake Blackwood will lead things off against Jeff Inman here in the 8th inning. Inman got the final out of the 7th inning, got Wiley on just 2 pitches. So we'll see if Blackwood in the middle heart of this order can get Kansas City the lead. Here's a high chopper to third. Routine play for Nieves, and Inman has 4 pitches, and he already has 2 quick outs, so pretty pitch efficient the last couple of innings. There is nobody at the moment warming up in the bullpen for either team, which, if you were guessing at this point, if it's a quick inning, the higher the likelihood that Kickham's chances of going back out would be. And if this is a lengthier inning, more so good inning for Kansas City's offense, then the likelihood would probably drop a little bit if he has to sit inside of that dugout. But this game right now might just be between Kickham and Inman, and who will make the mistake first in a 1-1 tie in the 8th. A big swing and a miss. Gallus tried to give Kansas City the lead. Came up empty, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallus is 1 for 2, singled in the 4th, walked in the 6th. He has also been a strikeout victim today. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's inside, 2 balls and a strike. So if you're Maz, Matt, I think I already know what your decision would be for the 9th. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, for how efficient Kickham has been the last 3+ innings.
2-1 pitch, fouled straight back, and it counts 2-2. I like his body language. I feel like when a pitcher shows so much confidence in himself, then he knows, A, he's working very, very well. B, he's using his defense, and just to see where they are in their order. The most trickier part is you're going to be coming to their 2, 3, 4 hitters for the 4th time through. So that's kind of the bad part of it. However, you're thinking about a former major league pitcher who's got a lot of experience, who's pitched in high-pressure situations. The one thing that Maz does not want to see happen is to put his starter out there who's pitched such a wonderful game and then put him in the jeopardy of possibly losing a game after pitching so brilliantly through 8 innings. So it makes it a lot easier if Kansas City can give him and their team a lead here in the 8th. Because then Kickham gets a chance to go until he allows a base runner. 3-2 pitch. What a good swing. Fouls it straight back. The count stays full 3-2.
Yeah, Gallus with 13 homers, trying to make it 14 right there.
I wouldn't mind seeing the 14th.
It'd be okay.
Gillies to follow. 3-2 pitch. Way outside, not even close. Gallus sprinting to first to see if the catcher, Chavez, would be lazy, and then Chavez kind of hustles back to get the baseball just to make sure Gallus doesn't take such a wide turn. So the potential go-ahead runner is on, and that'll bring up Tyson Gillies, who's 1 for 3. Now, the interesting part for Laredo is there's really nowhere for Pete Incaviglia to go. He's already used his setup man. This is his closer, so he's not going to take Inman out unless things get really bad for Laredo. But in order to commit to bringing in your closer in the 8th inning, he was going to have to pitch the 9th and possibly, or the 8th, and then possibly the 9th. We've seen Maz do that with Haynes in the past.
Yeah, so Inman at 13 pitches, and a lot of times your closer is not used to high pitch counts.
Runner goes, a gigantic break. The throw to second, not even close. Stolen base for Gallus. And I'll tell you, Gillies, I believe, took a called second strike, and even if he did, you have to not swing the bat there. You want to make sure you protect the runner to get to second with such a giant lead, and it is a called strike. So 0-2 on Tyson Gillies. But now a base hit would give Kansas City their first lead of the day.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do there is, if you're Gillies, is swing at that and pop it up.
Yeah, or foul it away, and all of a sudden you've got 2 strikes and the runner didn't advance. This way, at least the runner is in scoring position. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Great block by Chavez. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, for how hard Gallus is going into second, if you pop that up, he's out at first.
Yes, that's a double play. Gallus is a very good base runner for as big of a guy as he is. He's kind of sneaky on the bases. You don't expect for him to take off, and he just had a huge jump. Once again, nobody warming up in either bullpen. 1-1 tie in the 8th. 1-2 pitch, a little popper in foul territory that'll get off the facing of Laredo's dugout, and the count stays 1-2. You have Gillies and Rodriguez, 2 opportunities to see if Kansas City can take their first lead of the afternoon. They've out-hit Laredo 8-4, and both defenses have been really, really solid today. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a check swing. Did he go? No, and the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty close. Third base umpire Brian Child and said Gillies did not go.
I'm biased, but I think Brian Child made an outstanding call.
I'll tell you what, usually if it's very, very close, if the catcher sells it very quickly, it seems like you get the call more often than not, and Chavez sold it immediately, but Child held his ground. So now the count is even, 2-2. Inman set. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and a check swing this time, and again didn't go. That time, definitely the right call. I don't even think he broke his wrist at all, and the count is full 3-2. So Gillies, who is down in the count, 0-2, has worked the count to a full count, 3-2, with Rodriguez on deck. It wouldn't be the worst case for Laredo if Gillies were to reach, only for the fact it would open the door for a double play. Here's a 3-2 pitch that will have to wait as Inman turns and looks at Gallus at second base. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kansas City and Laredo tied at 1. Laredo took the lead in the 4th. Kansas City tied it in the 7th. Big pitch coming. 3-2 pitch. Is a foul ball straight back. So a really good battle continues. And as Matt mentioned a little bit ago, with closers not usually asked to have a high pitch count, Inman is at 19 pitches. So a couple of good battles. That's really worked his pitch count up a little bit. He got the final out of the 7th, and 1 out on Blackwood in this inning. Another full count pitch. Here it comes. Low, ball 4, and Kansas City has 2 on and 1 out in the 8th. So back-to-back walks here in the 8th inning. And once again, if you're Pete Incaviglia, there's nowhere to turn. This is the guy you want in. He's your freshest arm out of the bullpen. They've pretty much already used everybody else once or more than once in this series. Rodriguez, who homered and doubled last night, is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored the only run in the game. That happened last inning. Here's the pitch, and it's low. Fastball at 88, and Rodriguez has the early advantage. Something about the way that Vladimir Frias has composed himself today, too. He's a type of hitter that in today's game in particular, he's a guy I would like to see up in this inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and looked like the same spot, this time called a strike, and the count's 1-1. It just looks like Vladdy's going to have that swagger going. He's on deck.
Yeah, we've seen him, I think, during this homestand.
1-1 pitch, chopper to third. Nieves has it over to first in time for the out. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and so now you've got a decision that I'm assuming is going to be a kind of an easy decision, but decision nonetheless with first base open and the young rookie catcher on deck. Does Pete Incaviglia rather face Frias or Tyler Moore?
My guess is he will walk Frias.
My guess would be the same thing.
But we've tried to guess what managers would do before.
Yep.
And we've been wrong.
Well, Vladdy's a free swinger, so they are going to intentionally walk him. So something about the way that Frias was kind of composing himself in this game, I really had a very good feeling if he came up that something positive would have happened, and he will not get that opportunity. He will be walked. So Inman, unless he throws one away, will walk the bases loaded here in the 9th inning, or the 8th inning. I keep wanting to get us too far ahead here. So 3 walks in the inning. There's ball 3. That would load the bases for Tyler Moore, and he will have an opportunity to be a potential hero in the game if he could come through with a hit. There's the 4th ball of the at-bat, and here's the bases loaded opportunity for Tyler Moore. Still nobody warming in either bullpen, either for Kansas City or Laredo.
And if you're sitting there thinking, well, do you want the rookie Tyler Moore coming up in this situation? Do you have anybody on the bench? Kansas City last night having to put Steve Swingle on the disabled list. They did sign today.
I saw that.
Did you mention this?
I haven't yet.
Okay. Kansas City did sign today Jake Sobey.
Yep, I didn't put the new one up there yet, I don't believe. Oh, it is up there.
The son of pitching coach Bill Sobey. So he's your backup catcher today. But obviously if you pinch hit, Jake comes in.
Yep, and he hasn't had a chance to work with any of their pitchers yet, so that's kind of a scary situation. First pitch to Tyler Moore. Big swing and a foul tip. 0-1 on Tyler, who on the day has done nothing but be unselfish. He has walked once, and he has sacrificed bunted twice, so he has had a very team-friendly day at the plate. And not to mention he's called a pretty good game behind the plate.
He's done all right. I'm sure Mike Kickham's happy with the day Tyler Moore has had.
So a big at-bat here in the 8th. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball just barely outside, and the radar gun shows 95 as the count evens 1-1. That did not look like 95.
We've seen some that look 95 that were less than that.
The next pitch will be Inman's 30th, and a chopper foul off of his foot. And now Moore is in the mercy of Inman, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But again, as you mentioned, he comes in to face what turned out to be just one batter in the 7th inning. But now he's at 30 pitches, and unless Kansas City scores here, he is your only bet, really. your only option, really, for inning number 9.
Yep, unless you want to use somebody possibly 3 times in a series.
As there is some action out there.
1-2 pitch, and Tyler Morris strikes out on 4 pitches, and Kansas City leaves the bases loaded in the 8th. So, decision time for Kansas City. Will Mike Kickham pitch the 9th? The answer is on the screen if we haven't cut to a break already. Kickham is back for the 9th. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We head to the 9th inning. Kansas City and Laredo tied at 1, and Mike Kickham is back out for the 9th inning. You know, Matt, you haven't left yet, and you won't leave probably for a little bit longer, but, you know, this season we've been talking about over and over that it's been so long since Kansas City had a complete game showing by a pitcher. Lucas Irvin, the last time that had happened prior to earlier this week, when he did it in Fargo, and Kansas City has one with Messer this week as Kickham throws a first pitch strike to Nieves. And now we're trying to see if Kickham can possibly go the distance 2 days later. So when you're efficient by throwing a lot of strikes, using your defense really softens the burden on the bullpen. Here's the 0-1 pitch and a little bit low. Change up at 82 and the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, I'm not sure about you, Nate, but when I saw that Kickham was throwing today as a ball ends up on the field, I'm not sure if it came from the Laredo bullpen or. But when you saw that Kickham was pitching today, particularly coming off the shutout by Messer, and knowing just what a cerebral pitcher Kickham is, and just the way he wants to concentrate on each hitter.
Way inside, almost hit the batter, and it counts 2 balls and a strike.
You had a feeling that, you know, this would be a pretty good outing for him. And it has been, but like you say, I mean, the only issue came in the 4th inning. They got a couple solid base hits. But Kickham has been very efficient, very good today.
There's a foul ball to play to the right side. A couple of kids wasn't looking. I think the kid that actually made the catch, he used his stomach to catch it because he wasn't paying attention, able to hold on to it as the ball just caught him right in the stomach, and now he's somewhat laughing over there. But
yeah, at least he got the ball out of the deal.
And now at least he's going to go find a seat. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and just a bit outside. And I believe the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it is 3-2. Kickham, 96 pitches on the afternoon. 3-2 pitch and a foul ball just right off of his front foot. And the count stays full at 3-2. Kansas City has a lefty warming up.
It'll be one Tyler Ybarra.
So Ybarra warming up. Laredo has action in their bullpen. We can guarantee you that there will be somebody that Laredo has already thrown in this series. Here's the 2-2 pitch and an off-speed pitch popped up
Out of play to the right side into the seats. Same spot where that youngster was just a little bit ago. This time a scrum was about 50 kids out of nowhere.
Kids.
Where's that Finding Nemo clip when you need it? So the count remains full 3-2. Abel Nieves, batting for the fourth time, is 1 for 3. Another 3-2 pitch and a pop-up. On the infield, Wiley going out. Will not be easy with the sun, but he'll make the catch for the first out of the ninth inning. And that'll bring up J.D. Pulfer, who was 0 for 2 of the hit by pitch. So Mike Kickham will be throwing his 100th pitch. The next throw he makes to J.D. Pulfer. You know, you made a comment a little bit ago how comfortable you felt with Kickham throwing today. You know, I felt, after what Messer did, I felt very comfortable with Fernie yesterday. I knew he wasn't going to go very far, but he was so good in the first month and a half before he got injured. You kind of had some comfort that yesterday is going to give you a little bit of innings. He's going to keep the game close, which he did, 4 shutout innings. But Kickham, you know, one thing or another, we talked about it yesterday, he's going to get you 6 innings. And even if he doesn't have his best stuff, he will grind through 6 innings to keep your team in it. This pitch is low, 1 ball and a strike.
Well, it was about 2 weeks ago in Winnipeg when he gave up 5 runs in the first inning. Now, Kansas City ended up losing that game. That was that extra inning 16-15 affair. That I'd rather
not talk about again. Yes. Line drive just fouled on the left field line, and the count's 1-2 on Pulfer.
But Kickham gave up 5 runs in that first inning, and then from that point on became the Mike Kickham that we're used to seeing.
It's going to happen. I mean, we laughed about it earlier. Zach Greinke, which was a Cy Young winner for the Royals a few years ago. You know, you would argue, there's really not much of an argument, he's a top 5 pitcher in baseball. Today, he won an inning and 2/3, gave up 10 hits and 9 earned runs.
He gave up a couple home runs, didn't he?
3. 2 to the same guy in the first inning against Boston. So, you know, it happens to everybody. James Shields, he's had an outing earlier this year when he was with San Diego that he gave up 10 runs in about 2 innings. So even at the highest possible level, best pitchers in the world, they have those spotty outings. 2-2 pitch just barely misses outside, and the count's full 3-2. So now Kickham, after having 3 blazingly fast innings, has worked back-to-back full counts in the 9th inning. And I'm not going to lie, when you typically see a pitcher who's pitched as well as he has all game, more often than not, he gets that call in the outside corner. There's the 3-2 pitch and a ground ball to second. Wiley waits for the nice hop at the end and throws over to first for the second out. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th inning, and that'll bring up a dangerous hitter in Dennis Phipps, who is 1 for 3.
And those have been 2 interesting outs here to Wiley. One that we've actually, quite frankly, seen him not make on the pop-up before, but he tracked that one down, like you mentioned. Tough sun field as Blackwood, as I'm saying that, puts his glove up to see where the sun is. But then that one almost handcuffed him on the... He tried to wait for that long hop, but able to make the play nonetheless.
Good off-speed pitch to begin Phipps for the strike. 0-1. Dennis Phipps, we've talked about it all series. A lot of power. Very big-time hitter, contributor for Laredo last year. 0-1 pitch, a very late swing and a miss. Might have been the highest velocity of the day for Kickham, according to the radar gun, a 92. And he is way ahead of Phipps, 0-2.
Yeah, Phipps definitely guessed wrong on that one.
So now you've got one of the better hitters way behind in a pitcher's count. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, barely missed the outside edge, 1-2. And Dennis Phipps has guessed wrong on all 3 pitches so far in this at-bat.
Well, you know, one thing, talking with Kickham yesterday, he said, you know, what I may end up doing tomorrow is pitch backwards to these guys. And I think we have seen a little of that today.
1-2 pitch, has barely got a piece of it, fouled it back. And the favor's still in favor, or the count's still in favor of Kickham.
Or the favor's still in favor.
Yep, either one. 109 pitches for Kickham. Hopefully it'll only take 110 to get through the 9th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside. Barely missed, and the count's 2-2.
And you're right. We've seen a couple pitches this at bat that you would think Kickham might get.
Yeah, Sandberg has really been consistent. He's had a great night behind the plate. 2-2 pitch outside, fastball, and the count's full 3-2. Like I said, and usually you will get that extra edge, that extra call, but Sandberg is holding his own, so he's been consistent. Not much to argue with the strike zone. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and a pop foul out of play to the right side. So all three batters in this inning have gone to full count pitches to Kickham, so it'll be interesting if Phipps were to reach, if Maz would go immediately to Ybarra or not. But the pitch count,
I'm guessing,
he's going to the bullpen?
He's going to the bullpen. I'm guessing this is the last batter that Kickham will face, and we'll find out as this pitch misses away inside.
Yeah, there's a 2-out walk, so now the potential go-ahead runner is on base.
And here,
Maz is at the very, very bottom of the steps. He is not reaching on the handrail yet.
Well, he and Sobey are talking down there, so we'll see as Ybarra looks ready.
I think they're going to allow Kickham to face one more. Burt Reynolds, who is 0 for 3. However, he does have a sacrifice fly. That was with the bases loaded, hit one to right. And Kickham is going to be able to face Reynolds.
So I guess wrong.
First pitch is a bit outside, and the count is 1-0. Now, I think we'll both agree on this. If for some reason, if Reynolds reaches, that would be the end of the line. But Kickham needs to get one more out, give Kansas City an opportunity to win the game with just one run in the 9th inning. All four coaches huddled up right next to each other on the top step. Ground ball to short. Frias has it. He will flip it the second inning over as Mike Kickham has 9 outstanding innings here this afternoon. He allows just the one run. Now will the offense come back to win it for him in the bottom half of the 9th? We'll find out soon. You're listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Nathan Moore back with you. Bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 1. Kansas City looking for their second walk-off hit.
over just the last week on this homestand. New pitcher coming in, Kamakani Usui, comes in out of the bullpen. 4-3 record, 3.06 ERA. And Usui will face the top third of the order. Massey, Mojica, Wiley. Anybody gets on base, Blackwood would come up. Kansas City needs a run to win it and to give Kickham a farewell big win here today. He has pitched phenomenally. He has gone 9 innings. He's allowed just 1 run on 4 hits, but right now he would get a no decision unless Kansas City can win it for him in this inning. Breaking ball that apparently caught the strike zone, according to the home plate umpire Sandberg. That was the first time really that it appeared that Sandberg might have missed it. That looked like it was really low in the zone, but called a strike. And the count, 0-2. Usui pitched a couple of nights ago. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Massey takes a bit outside. Fastball at 94. Massey singled in the 3rd, walked in the 7th. He is 1 for 3. Usui, the first time out, he took the loss. He allowed 2 runs in 1 inning. That was the game on Thursday night. 1-2 pitch and a pop foul out of play. And the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if Kansas City can get a big-time hit here by Tyler Massey to lead things off. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Good block by the catcher Chavez, and the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Laredo is getting to the point of getting very, very dicey with their bullpen. Beckman unavailable. De La Cruz is already pitched. Dodson unavailable. Inman has already pitched. And then you get further down to the rotation. A lot of guys not available to pitch today. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball pops straight back out of play. And the count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you want to talk about advantages to a bullpen or not, Kansas City would have the obvious advantage in regards to bullpen because they've had more guys available. Remember, Dodson has already been long gone as a starting pitcher. Already the 3rd reliever for Laredo in this game. Kansas City has not yet yielded to their bullpen. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, another foul ball out of play. Last night, Kansas City used 4 relievers. Nobody really threw too much except for Josh Tolles. Laredo, though, used 4 relievers. Kansas City used the same relievers on Friday night as they used yesterday, or Thursday night as they did yesterday, so the bullpen relatively fresh, you would hope, for Kansas City. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul ball. So Usui is really battling with Tyler Massey out of the bullpen. Already an 8-pitch at bat here in the 9th inning. We are tied at 1 here in the 9th. Kansas City has out-hit Laredo 8-4. There's been no errors in the game. A game that is right up against the 3-hour mark. Outfield very deep. They do not want to concede an extra base hit to lead off the 9th. And Usui's another 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 3, and the count is full, 3-2. Tyler Massey, if he gets on base, things could get really interesting for the decisions for John Massarelli in Kansas City. You could opt to play small ball, bunt him over. You could allow Massey an opportunity to steal a base, but first things first, he has to find a way to get on. The 3-2 pitch. Little blooper, shallow left, but out goes the third baseman Nieves to make the catch, and the first out is made. So a very lengthy battle between Massey and Usui. And after 10 pitches, Tyler Massey is out. So that'll bring up Jimmy Mojica. Mojica singled back in the 3rd inning. He is 1 for 4. Kansas City desperately needing to get a runner on. Make it a lot easier to possibly win the game in the bottom of this inning. Pitch on the way to Jimmy. And Mojica hits a line drive right to the shortstop. Pull for a long throw to first in time for the out.
So very quickly now, the second out has been made, as after a 10-pitch battle with Massey, Mojica goes out on the very first pitch. And now 2 up, 2 down for Brett Wiley, who is 1 for 4 in his day at the plate as well. Singled back in the first inning, since then 0 for 3. Wiley back in the 7th inning had runners all over the place and grounded out to the first baseman. Mike Kickham, who went 9 innings, allowed just 1 run, is doing nothing but a lot of deep prayer to see if his teammates will give him an opportunity to win this game. You talk about heartbreaking for a guy who has pitched his heart out. The offense has just been absolutely kept quiet. The 0-1 pitch is a strike. Outside corner, 0-2. Fastball at 92. We go all the way back to the 3rd inning. Kansas City made a big out at the plate. Instead of having the bases loaded and 1 out, Kansas City made out number 2 at the plate. Right after that, Laredo took the lead in the 4th inning. Kansas City tied it in the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. Wiley goes after a pitch, might have been out of the zone, but to protect the count or protect the strike zone, he fouls it away. So the count's still no balls, 2 strikes. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mike Kickham is on the top step with a towel draped over his head, hoping and praying that the game ends right here. The 0-2 pitch, way outside, and the count's 1-2. Osui has not made it easy for himself. Pitch number 15 in the inning. 10 of those pitches came against Tyler Massey to begin the frame. Blackwood would follow if Wiley gets on base. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, a pitch that was way low and inside. Wiley goes out of the strike zone and strikes out. So Osui does his job. A perfect 1-2-3 9th inning. We have extra baseball, free baseball for you today at the ballpark. We head to the 10th, tied at 1. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Extra baseball as we head to the 10th inning, live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. Nathan Moore back with you. We are tied at 1 heading into the 10th inning. Kansas City looking to get a quick inning out of their bullpen here in the 10th. Tyler Ybarra will come in, 6'2", 210-pound lefty from Wellington, Kansas. is in to pitch the 10th. First pitch to Poso is a little bit low, and the count is 1-0. Last night, Ybarra went 1 inning, struck out a batter. Season ERA, a 3.12. He is asked to pitch the 10th. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and way low and outside ball, too. So no decision again for Mike Kickham. Two and 0, Poso at the plate. Here's the pitch. And right there, strike call. 2 balls and a strike. So Tyler Ybarra trying to pitch in back-to-back games, trying to hold the game where it is. 2-1 pitch, throws it into the dirt, and the count's 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. And the 3-1 pitch is a strike. Fastball at 91 on the inside corner. Ybarra obviously does not want to give up a free base runner to lead off the 10th. He is battling against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters here in the 10th. Ybarra's 3-2 pitch and a foul ball off of his front foot, trickling down the first base line, and the count stays full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Kansas City's bullpen, if you want to think about in regards of who is the freshest compared to who is not, Kansas City's bullpen would definitely be more of the fresher unit. DeLuca would be available. Haynes would be available. The only guy you'd want to really avoid today would be Josh Tolles. Another 3-2 pitch and a line drive into center field, slicing to left center field. Massey is there and runs it down left center field. So Tyler Massey able to track it down quickly in the left center field, and the first out has been made in the 10th inning. So a good start by Ybarra after falling behind 3-1 to come back to get the leadoff out. And now that'll bring up the catcher, Zane Chavez, who is 1 for 3. Chavez struck out in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. Grounded out to Wiley in the 7th. 1-1 tie in the 10th. Lefty-lefty matchup. Chavez batting .266. And the pitch on the way is a big swing and a miss. Not even close. That pitch was up near the ear flap. Chavez's swing was incredibly late on the 92-mile-per-hour fastball. So Ybarra gets ahead. Coming set, here's the 0-1 pitch. And a guided ground ball to second. Wiley is there. Has to hurry. He does, and very quickly now. 2 outs in the 10th inning. Wiley that time was kind of playing more toward the first base bag, so he had to guide himself to the second base area right behind the bag. Set his feet quickly, and the throw was perfectly in time. A perfect strike to first. And 2 outs made now in the 10th inning. And that will bring up the center fielder, Alvaro Rondon. Rondon, 1 for 4. Check that, 1 for 3. Also has a sacrifice bunt. Takes a first pitch strike. Ybarra, a lot of life in the left arm. Good fastball, anywhere between 92 to 95. Works quick most of the time. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Another fastball. And very quickly, Rondon is behind in the count, 0-2. With the day off tomorrow, Kansas City can really do some different things with their bullpen. Ybarra, if he gets through the 10th inning, and if Kansas City can't win it in the bottom half, he may be asked to go an additional inning. The 0-2 pitch is a bit outside. Good stick by Moore behind the plate, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. If the inning continues, number 9 batter Ty Morrison would come up. A little bit of a shift in the outfield. Massey more toward right center, so a big gap in left center field. as the fastball is thrown outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Laredo. 1 run, 8 hits, no errors for KC. Laredo with the lead in the 4th inning. Kansas City tying it in the 7th. Now the 2-2 pitch is another fastball, missed outside. Full count, 3-2. Kansas City had a gigantic opportunity in the 8th inning. Bases were loaded. 2 outs. Tyler Moore struck out. But before that, they had first and second, 1 out, and then Rodriguez hit a ground ball to third. The 3-2 pitch, and he missed it. A little bit down and outside. It's a walk. And a free pass here in the 10th inning. So a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up the left fielder Morrison. So Ybarra does indeed give up a free pass here in the 10th inning. If you're thinking ahead about what Kansas City will have on the bottom of the 10th inning, they will have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Blackwood, Gallus, and Gillies. That are all possible hitters in the 10th inning. Gillies had a walk-off home run on Wednesday night's ball game against Lincoln, so he's got some power. Blackwood and Gallus obviously has power. So you have the heart and the middle third of your order due up in the bottom half of the inning. Ybarra trying to slam the door here in the 10th. Lefty. The pitch is a strike right at the knees. Primarily just fastballs from Ybarra. He's not really worked much with the off-speed. Now the outfielders kind of shaded straight up. Shifted back to their normal depth, their normal spots in the outfield. No shift on the infield. Mojica at third is in. 0-1 pitch right down the middle, called a strike, 0-2. Tomorrow night, an idle day for Kansas City, and then a doubleheader on Tuesday against Wichita. 2 games followed by a solo game on Wednesday and Thursday before Kansas City is home again for 6 games and an off day on Monday night. Here's a chopper right to the third baseman. Mojica has to hurry on the run, and his throw is in time. Jimmy Mojica with a nice defensive play to get us out of the 10th inning. We head to the bottom of the 10th inning, tied at 1 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the bottom of the 10th inning. Nathan Moore back with you as the Kansas City T-Bones look to win it in the bottom of the 10th inning, a game that is now over 3 hours and 5 minutes in game time length. All could end in good fashion again here today if Kansas City can walk off with another win here in the 10th inning. Pitch on the way. Blackwood guides one to short. Bobbled by Pulfer, and he's not going to be able to throw it to first. So a leadoff base runner for Kansas City in the 10th inning. Blackwood with a line drive, one hopper to short. Pulfer had it and then dropped it into shallow left field, and Kansas City has the potential winning run on base here in the 10th inning. They are ruling that a base hit for Jake Blackwood. It is his first hit of the game, and Kansas City has the potential winning run on with nobody out in the 10th inning. Tied at 1. Kansas City has out-hit Laredo 9-4. Now it's up to Gallus, who has a hit. He's also walked twice, and the first pitch is right at the knees for a strike. Osui is back out for his second inning of work. We've already talked about the bullpen for Laredo. They have been overworked in this 4-game series, and Osui is being asked to go 2 innings. Might he make a mistake? The 0-1 pitch inside. Gallus tried to check his swing, and he does, according to the first base umpire, Trent Delmont. Gallus struck out in the second, singled in the fourth, walked in the sixth, and again in the eighth. He is not much of a bunter. Obviously, the power with 13 home runs is his game. 36 RBIs, batting just .204. But he has probably the greatest amount of power on the team, the greatest potential power on the roster. The 1-1 pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. That's been his Achilles heel this year. Off speed, he was way out in front of it, and he's behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kansas City needs a run to win the game. T-Bones have won 6 consecutive games, looking for their 7th consecutive win. They need a run to do it. Osui set, 1-2 pitch, hammered down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is just foul, and that would have ended it. Gallus almost connecting on his 14th home run of the year. He missed it by about a half a foot down the left field line. That ball was absolutely crushed down the left field line, but pulled just too much foul. And now Gallus has to step back in and do one of the more difficult things in baseball, try to forget about that launch pad that he just did and go right back to work. Osui's 1-2 pitch, lined into right field, is going to drop in front of the right fielder for a hit. And Kansas City has 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Back-to-back singles by Kansas City's Blackwood and Gallus. And Kansas City in a prime-time scoring opportunity here in the 10th. So Tyson Gillies, who is 1 for 3, singled in the second, walked in the 8th, is more than likely going to be asked to bunt the baseball, obviously here. An obvious bunting situation, not to say that it's going to be, because everybody in the stadium knows a bunt is coming. Maz might opt to do something different here, but a left-handed hitter against a right-handed reliever. Osui definitely expecting a bunt. Everybody already charging. Here comes the pitch. Bunt is shown and the bunt is fouled off. Blackwood, earlier in this series, in fact it was yesterday, was thrown out at third base on a bunt attempt by Gillies. Blackwood at second. Gallus, who means nothing to this game, is at first base. His run does not matter as Kansas City is tied 1-1 here in the 10th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch, showing a bunt inside, almost hit him, and the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball was barreling down and inside on Gillies, almost hit him. That would have loaded the bases up for Rodriguez, who's on deck. Dalton Wheat is available in the dugout for Kansas City as a pinch hitter if needed. You've got a .330 hitter that is waiting inside of that dugout if Kansas City wants to use him. At some point in this inning, the 1-1 pitch, and he's swinging away, and he fouls it off. So there you go. Everybody in the world expecting a bunt. Kansas City giving Gillies an opportunity to win it with a hit, and he fouls it away. So an interesting decision there by John Massarelli, trying to catch the defense sleeping, and lines it foul. So now the count is 1-2. Gillies right here, obviously trying to move the runners, avoid the double play at all costs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball stays up just an inch or two, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. A base hit might win it. Kansas City is tied at 1. The T-Bones have out-hit the Lemurs 10-4, and both defenses, for the most part, have been flawless. There is no errors on the scoreboard. J.D. Pulfer at short would tell you that there's a couple of plays he should have made, but he hasn't. The 2-2 pitch popped him up. That was ball 3. It was way outside. And Gillies reached out, popped it up, out number 1. Gillies did not advance the runners. And now Rodriguez will come up, looking to do something to move the runners up 90 feet, if not win the game. So not a good at bat for Gillies. He did not get the bunt down. He fouled off a pitch that was right down the heart of the plate. And then there with the pitch of 2-2, way outside, he went after it and popped it up. So now it's up to Starlin Rodriguez with 2 on and 1 out. Pitch is on the way. Breaking ball stayed up, and the count's 1-0. Osui now has thrown 28 pitches in his relief outing. How much more does Osui have in his tank? Blackwood is the potential winning run. He is at second base. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Off speed, and the count is even, 1-1. Good hard breaking ball, and Rodriguez tried to hit another home run. He hit his 3rd of the year last night. That gave Kansas City additional breathing room in the later stages of the game. RBI is number 21 attached to that home run. 1-1 pitch, a chopper back to the mound. Osui has it. He'll go to first, and the second out is made, and that'll bring up Vladimir Frias. So first and second, nobody out. Now Kansas City has second and third, 2 outs, and Vladimir Frias is coming to the plate. Frias, a very similar situation in the 7th inning. And Laredo intentionally walked Vladimir Frias to get to Tyler Moore, who struck out to leave the bases loaded. So Pete Incaviglia is going to come out. He is going to talk with his entire defense about how to attack Vladimir Frias here. So a long discussion about how to attack Vladimir Frias or to how to avoid Vladimir Frias and another bases-loaded opportunity. Another lengthy game after 4:20 in the afternoon. We are in the 10th inning. Kansas City is tied with Laredo 1-1. And Tyler Moore, a young professional rookie hitter, is on deck. He was in the same situation back in the 7th inning, and they are going to intentionally walk Vladimir Frias. It's a good call. Force the young catcher, Tyler Moore, to win the game. Tyler Moore had the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 8th inning, struck out on 4 pitches. There was ball 2 to Frias. So a golden opportunity to begin the inning, squandered quickly. Tyson Gillies could not advance the runners. And then Starlin Rodriguez grounded out to the pitcher. So back-to-back not very good at bats for Kansas City. And the T-Bones now will have a decision to make. Do they allow the young rookie catcher to hit? Or will Kansas City's skipper John Massarelli go to the bench? They've got a backup catcher, Jake Sobey, who was signed to a contract before the day. You've got a 300 hitter, 330 hitter that is on your bench. But John Massarelli is not going to go to Dalton Wheat. He is going to stay with his catcher. He is going to keep Tyler Moore into the game. So Tyler Moore, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and 2 sacrifice bunts, can either win the game with a walk, a hit by a pitch, or a base hit. That is the situation here. The first pitch on the way is a strike on the inside corner. So Osui throws a first pitch strike. Dalton Wheat was loosening, stretching a little bit in that dugout, but he was not called upon here in the 10th inning. So it's Tyler Moore's opportunity to shine. 0-1 pitch and another nasty swing. Breaking ball in the low part of the zone. He missed it, and the count's 0-2. 229 hitter, Tyler Moore. 1 homer, 4 RBIs. And Osui has got him in knots right now. 2 strikes. And Osui looks in, the 0-2 pitch. Hit him in the back, and the T-Bones were going to win on a walk-off hit by pitch on an 0-2 pitch. Holy cow! In the most improbable way to win a game, the T-Bones have done it. On an 0-2 pitch, Tyler Moore was down 0-2 and was just absolutely plunked in the back on a pitch by Osui. And the T-Bones have won this season on 2 of the most unconventional ways in baseball history. A week and a half ago, the T-Bones won a game on an infield 2-run bunt single to win the game. Today, they win an extra inning, 10-inning affair on a walk-off hit by pitch on an 0-2 count to Tyler Moore. And the T-Bones have won their 7th consecutive game as Tyler Moore was doused with ice water right in front of the dugout. A big game for John Massarelli, career win number 850, as Matt Folks is talking with John Massarelli behind home plate. 850 career wins. Congratulations to Maz, and congratulations to the 7th consecutive winning Kansas City T-Bones. With the win, the T-Bones improved to 37-42. With the loss, Laredo falls to 43-37. 7 consecutive wins as the T-Bones won every single game on the homestand. 7 straight wins, and the T-Bones just gaining ground in the Central Division race. Historic night for many different reasons, but a huge win for Kansas City. For Matt Folks, I'm Nathan Morris saying so long from Community America Ballpark. Sam King will be with you on Tuesday night as Kansas City heads to Wichita for a 4-game series in a 3-day span. All the action on TBonesBaseball.com. You've been listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at TBonesBaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.